We often think of the zombie apocalypse in terms of fiction, but the true threat to civilization is not the supernatural, but the human response to scarcity. This is Urban Sentinel, and let's get into it. When the established supply lines fail, be it from economic collapse, a global shutdown, or massive conflict, a new species of human emerges, the unprepared. They are the foundation of the true zombie apocalypse, and their behavior is as predictable and as real as the TV shows and the movies make it out to be. A simple observation reveals two primary types of this human dynamic. First, the shufflers. Their lack of foresight, the inability to plan just a little, leaves them aimless and prone to panicked reactions, almost mentally helpless to comprehend the situation that's in front of them. They are encased in a state of shock, wrapped up in denial. They shuffle about, consuming whatever is familiar only directly in front of them, making little effort to secure long-term resources or search for alternatives. They circle the places that are the most acceptable and accessible to them, even when it's clearly a waste of time. They linger in areas scattered with debris, hoping to find something, anything that'll get them by. They deplete the few random resources that are available haphazardly, often leaving damaged and wasted goods in their confusion behind, left in their wake. You'll find that they mass together in a herd mentality and moving to whatever shiny object, familiar aroma, or sound that catches their attention. Now, the second and more dangerous are the ferals. Driven by carnal instinct, a near ravenous desire to consume everything, they target those that have something that they do not. Whether you're in the store, on the streets, or in your own home. They move fast with chaotic actions. They swarm quickly, which can lead to the rapid and violent consumption of resources. They are not interested in preparation, only acquisition. It's against these forces that the prepared must be secure in their most critical resources and assets. Now this brings us to the 5 pillars of defense. It's a broad-ranging environment of collapse, defense, and survival, and they're based on these 5 essential pillars. These are the keys to any serious plan to prepare, survive, and thrive before, during, and after a major crisis. And always understand that you must remain fluid in your plans. Tactics are a short-term, strategies are a long-term. Utilizing both to complement each other will bring you the most benefit and value. Now, with these essentials, I like to refer to them as the 5 Bs, 5 Bravo for clarity. First, bullets. They're the currency of defense. While both the literal reference to the ammunition, it also represents the total ability for you to protect your resources, your location, and yourself from the threats both imminent and immediate in nature. Second, Band-Aids. The necessity of medical readiness. Simple traumas and infections will become the leading cause of mortality in a world without functioning hospitals and adequate medical care. Having more than just a few Band-Aids is a necessity, and thinking the worst-case scenario is going to be preferred. Third, beans. The caloric foundation of your diet for long-term survival, the bulk, high-density nutrition that outlasts nearly all other foods. It's not just limited to a single staple, but it's a combination of multiple foods that will form your survivor's diet, meant to outlast the high sugar, empty calories of convenient junk and keep you going long after everyone else struggles to stay alive. Number 4, barricades. The simple physical manifestation of security, the barrier that separates you and your resources from the shufflers and from the ferals. It'll be a multifaceted pre-planning event. It must be done beforehand because you may not have time once the world has gone south and sideways. And number 5, water. The B is silent and it's also invisible, but for simplicity of this video, we'll call it beverages. But it's the most basic need, not always just to drink, but also the systems to purify it and maintain it, turning the potentially contaminated water into a source that is a lifeline. It is essential for so many reasons, and it will in many cases be the only real thing left of value once everything else is gone. Now, Within this context of the situation, there are 3 tiers of retreat. Survival requires not just the resources, but a strategy of movement and defense. The prepared mind operates on these 3 distinct tiers of readiness. Tier number 1, short term, traveling light. When relocating is unavoidable, you become a ghost. You carry only the bare minimum for self-preservation and self-defense. This stage is about distance and evasion over unknown terrain or caravanning across hostile territories. The adage of travel light, move fast applies here. Tier number 2, medium-term transitional camp. It's a temporary pause. Resources are carefully managed for the long duration, but the expectation is still mobility. This is the period of reconnaissance and strategic conservation. You stay long enough to recover, reorganize, but not long enough to be followed and found. On foot or in a vehicle, it's the same rules that apply. You find a safer area, know your exits, plan your next move, account for your resources, and move out at the best opportunity. Tier number 3, long term, the bunker barricade, the final defense. This is the stage of fortification and self-sufficiency. All your efforts are focused on making your location as impregnable as possible with the supplies and the skills that you have, rationing the stores of those 5 essential resources, preparing for that long December or that cruel summer of the collapse. It may be in your home, it might be in an empty office building or the break room of a closed down factory. Wherever you are, you must defend that location as best as possible to be able to hold off potential invaders long enough that if you must flee, you have a chance to grab a bag and go. And if you can't escape, then you give those that are attacking the type of nightmares that no therapy will ever fix. Hit the like, hit the hype, subscribe if you haven't, and remember this. The question is not if our society will be faced with a catastrophic stress test. The question is, which category will you fall into when that moment arrives? The prepared or the unprepared? That's all I've got for you for now. I'll catch you in the next one.